How's everybody doing? I'm checking back in with you guys because I did this 5-2 challenge where I fasted for 5 days and eat for 2 days. I did that 2 weeks in a row. It was actually a challenge inspired by, let's say, our mentor YouTube channel, a healthy alternative channel. So I did this challenge with them, and their challenges are so amazing. One of the main reasons why I love their challenges is because of the accountability. When you join one of their challenges, they invite you into a private group. They have their own app that you can join. And if you join one of the challenges, they create a private group, and all the people that are in the challenge, I don't know how many people there were, maybe 100 or more, I'm not sure. But all the people who are in the challenge, they form this camaraderie throughout the 3 weeks of the challenge. Now they do all sorts of challenges. They do dry challenges and 21-day fasting challenges, and they're all very thorough, including the prep for the challenge, so that you're not just, walking into this fast blindly. You actually prepare your body and really hydrate your cells before you actually even start the challenge. So you'll just have to go and follow their page, a Healthy Alternative, AHA, and if you're interested in that, please do, because like I said in my previous video, they are the GOATs of intermittent fasting channels, and I consider them mentors from afar. So last week I posted a video about the mindset that carried me through the first portion of the 5-2 challenge. So that very first week of fasting, there was a particular mindset that I had where I focused on the identity of the future me that I want to become, and that carried me through the first week. But that mindset carried me through the second week as well, and I expect to continue to build this mindset of basically putting myself in the position of already thinking like the person that I see myself becoming. I plan to live that way now. So that is how I made it through this entire challenge. Right now we're in the refeed cycle of the challenge. So I made it through 2 weeks of 5-2 fasting. So within that challenge, there was a total of 10 days of water fasting. So this was not a dry challenge, even though some people did do dry fasting. I did not. I stayed hydrated with water. Usually I put lemon in my water. This time I also tried cloves. And then I'd say on the last day of the challenge, that Friday, during the second cycle of fasting for 5 days, I did try the EVU. Some of you may have seen this recently. That is the extra virgin olive oil, adding that to your fasting to help you stay in autophagy, or maybe get into autophagy sooner. And if you're unfamiliar with fasting, that word autophagy, it translates to self-eating. And that is where when you reach a stage in fasting, some research says it starts at 17 hours of fasting. And as you continue to increase the hours of fasting, your body actually begins the cellular repair, where your body basically does a scan and it looks at cells that may be precancerous or just yucky, unclean cells, and it starts to clean up those cells and recycle. So through autophagy, your body sort of works its own magic, and it repairs itself through fasting. So with you fasting 5 days, you really got deep into that autophagy. And so that when you see EVU or extra virgin olive oil, people adding that to their water fasting, they are trying to sustain that autophagy and maybe get deeper into autophagy. Some people refer to it as hyper-autophagy. But yeah, this was a really great challenge. I'd say that the biggest thing was the accountability from the group. So as I mentioned before, it was mindset, accountability, and just a made-up mind. I've talked about this before, I believe somewhere in my channel, maybe in my shorts videos, that when you make a decision, the root word is decidere. It's either, I want to say it's in the Greek, correct me if I'm wrong, but that word actually means to cut. And so when you make a decision, whatever choice you make, you've cut off all other choices and all other options. And you're fixated on this decision that you decided to make. So I would say that mindset, it was just a decision that I'm going to follow through with this fast. I'm going to follow through with this challenge because I owe it to myself to be the healthiest version of myself. So yeah, that is how I was able to make it through that fast. And I did want to show, sort of like a side-by-side of my weight loss through this whole challenge. So as you can see, my weight, I started off at 227 pounds, which I believe is the highest my weight has ever been in my life. And I have 3 kids, they're grown, but even, during pregnancy, I've never reached a weight of above 225, or, I was a lot smaller, of course, in my 20s. So 227 was the highest I've ever been. And that is, I reached a point where I was just like, I'm done. I'm not, we're gonna change this. The whole reason I started intermittent fasting is I set out to, reverse the family curse of high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, cancer. That was my why in the beginning, and to encourage other people to reverse the curse in their family. So I was like, oh, I'm just so far off from my why. And it's really just laziness, right? And that word decide again, deciding to overeat, deciding to, I would say, numb or medicate certain feelings through food. And I can now trace back to it probably started in around 2013 when I was going through a divorce and I had 3 young kids. I can trace it back to that, where I started drinking when I was sad. I would have some wine when I was sad. And then as time went on, life got better, I remarried, but then I could see myself still, when times got tough, medicating or numbing feelings through drinking or overeating. And that's the pattern that I picked up on, and it was revealed to me during this fast. I could kind of just sit back and be quiet and retrace my steps to how did I get here to 227 pounds. So then now let's fast forward to the end of the second cycle of the 5-2. That Saturday, on the 5th day of that fast, I weighed in at around 206 pounds. So you could see almost 21 pound weight loss within, it was actually less than 2 weeks because I weighed in on Saturday. So this is just a little quick snippet of the power of fasting and how it can boost your weight loss. So of course, I'm not gonna do 5-2 fasting forever. This week in particular, I'm going back into intermittent fasting. Today, I'll actually do about 17 hours of fasting, and I'm gonna do some juicing, and I'm gonna more so focus on doing OMAD long-term, because that's just, when I did OMAD about 5 years ago, I just felt great. I was able to set boundaries for myself. My blood work looked great. So I'll probably move into more of an OMAD type of a lifestyle, but I am going into one more challenge with the AHA community. They do have another challenge, and it's called the 80 and 90 challenge. And that's where some people have reported losing 80 pounds in 90 days. I don't have another 90 pounds to lose, but I do have more weight to lose. And so I will be going through this 80-90 challenge with some friends that live here in Ohio with me, but also a couple new people who I met through the AHA community. We're gonna walk through this together. We have a group chat. We're breaking down the guide. And so what I'm gonna do is continue to check in with you weekly on this new 80 and 90 challenge. And that challenge is gonna take me right up to my birthday in March. And so, it's my goal in March to reach my goal weight or be very near my goal weight by my birthday in March. So stay tuned. I learned a lot during this fast. I encourage you, if you haven't started fasting, to start small. There's a book, I can put the link below in this video. It's called Fast, Feast, Repeat. And it's a great beginner book. It's a great book for beginning fasters, but it's also great for people like me who've been at it for some years. It's a good reminder. It breaks down the science in a way that anybody can understand. So I'll actually put the link, and it will link you to my Amazon storefront, and I do receive a commission off of that. So I'll post that book below. And I'll do some weekly check-ins on this new challenge that I'm starting. But yeah, I'm excited about losing over 20 pounds in 2 weeks. But the biggest thing is maintaining this through a lifestyle fasting. So, and that's why I'm here, right? To promote a fasted life for myself and to encourage you to live a fasted life. So again, I'll check in with you guys soon. Remember, my name is Leslie Ann Polk, and I'm here to encourage you to stay healthy in spirit, soul, and body. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.